Okay, there's a lot of talk about conversational hypnosis or using hypnosis in conversation, so I thought it'd be quite fun to do a quick video on it, so let's have a think about it. The easiest way to use conversational hypnosis is to use what are known as embedded commands. You can use embedded commands to get people to do pretty much anything you want, within reason anyway. You couldn't get them to open their checkbook and clear their bank account to you, but there's enough scammers online that do that anyway, so you don't really need to do that one. But generally speaking, obviously it's better if people want to do something, but you can use hints and things like that in the embedded commands. And you can use words like now and relax, go deeper, or let yourself to sort of help things. So for instance, you might say, imagine a really nice situation, somewhere relaxing, and imagine that we're now. So you can get them on a beach or whatever, and you can just drop them into a really relaxed state without them even really thinking about it. Most people are quite happy to daydream. You can use relax or go deeper, but that's sometimes works in conversational hypnosis, sometimes doesn't. You need to play around with it a little bit. You can certainly use things like let yourself imagine, or let yourself go, or let yourself think about it. And then once you've induced it, yeah, you can use the go deepers and the relaxes to deepen the states and get them to go deeper. Remember also that negatives are quite difficult to process, and although I've written don't use negatives, obviously it's actually quite a good technique. It catches people unawares. The old classic obviously is don't think of a pink elephant, where the first thing you have to do is think of a pink elephant to clear it from your mind. But that's probably not the easiest thing to drop into a conversation casually. Instead you might think about, don't even think about asking for a raise, or don't think I'm being forward, but, and you can use that to sort of preface things and to, again, just disarm what you're about to ask and maybe take it slightly into the third person as well. And of course that's what we just talked about, staying under the radar now, using negatives, using all sorts of different speech patterns. Actually, I'm sure once you start thinking about it, you'll bring up all sorts of things that you can drop hypnosis into conversation very quickly, very easily. Just look up some of your scripts, and I'm sure you can work out how to just slightly rephrase things so that you can use hypnosis in everyday conversation and absolutely no one will spot it. Of course, be ethical. Remember, you can't normally force people to do things against their will. We talked about that a bit earlier. They're not going to get their checkbook out and write you a check for $1 million. It just won't happen. And be ethical. Don't use hypnosis obviously I'm using negatives there, so be careful what you're doing with hypnosis. Be ethical with it. That's the best way to phrase that one. And if you need more sources, one of the best sources you can find for any kind of conversational hypnosis, or really underground hypnosis as well, is to watch the television adverts, because they're full of it. Sometimes the imagery is completely at odds with the words that are used on the screen. Sometimes the words are nicely embedded. One of the ones I saw recently was on an anti-aging, anti-wrinkle screen, and it says clinical results show that this will not give you any kind of relief. Basically it was really being negative, but you'd have read it as though, yeah, that's going to work all the time, every time. So watch out and be watchful for phrases like that. They're quite fun to find out.